All right. Just because the draft is over does not mean we're not done talking about it. I am Mike Hrynyshyn. He is Tyler Forness of NBC Sports Edge, Vikings Wire, the Forno Show on everywhere. Forno is everywhere. He's all being. He is, in fact, everywhere. And he's about 13 feet tall. So, Forno, how are you today?
Well, I'm 13 feet tall, and I only ate half a pizza, so I'd say pretty good.
So we are going to be doing daily draft grades for each division. Today we're starting with the AFC East. We're going to have some fun on at least one of these teams.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to just go alphabetically. We're going to start with the Buffalo Bills. Overall, what did you like about their draft?
I like how they figured out what they needed to attack, and they attacked it. They got Kyer Elam right away. James Cook was a really nice piece. Terrell Bernard, I'm interested to see how he's going to translate into that defense. Is he going to be used in more of a hybrid style role? Is he really going to be the successor for Terrell Edmonds? There's 3 Edmonds brothers in the NFL. It's just wonky. I got the wrong one again.
You still got the wrong one.
There's 3 Edmonds brothers in the NFL, and I don't remember which one plays where. Tremaine Edmonds. The running joke is, he's only 25 years old entering his 5th season in the league. Like, he is just such a young guy, and he's played very well for them. Khalil Shakir is a great ad. And then Matt Ariza gives them a guy you can throw at 80 yards and a guy you can punt at 80 yards. That's a pretty fun combination. Overall, I really enjoyed this draft. I wish they could have gotten a more diverse weapon at receiver than Khalil Shakir, but I like what they did regardless.
Yeah, I thought that they had a pretty solid draft. In my draft grades article, I gave them a B+. I like the Kyer Elam pick. I just think that Andrew Booth might have been a better fit and been better value. I like James Cook, especially with Devin Singletary hitting free agency next year. Terrell Bernard is one of my favorite players in the draft, and I still thought that this was just a tad early for him because he's a linebacker that's a little undersized with a history of shoulder and knee injuries, but he's just going to be a gnat that's a pain in the ass for every opposing offense because he's faster than pretty much anyone on the offense, and he can chase you down from behind. He's perfect for a sub-package linebacker. Khalil Shakir, like you said, not the most dynamic, but he's a solid route runner. But how was Punt God the 3rd punter off the board? That is a travesty. I would like to speak to the NFL's manager because that is ridiculous. But when you can have someone on your team that can down it within the 5, no matter where he's punting from, that's a key weapon on its own for the Bills. I like this draft. Again, like you said, I kind of wish that they had just a little bit more of a dynamic weapon, although maybe they're going to use James Cook in that fashion since, well, they haven't really gotten much from their backs in the passing game, whereas James Cook adds a little bit of that extra element. I gave it a B+. What would you give it?
B+, I think, is pretty fair, unless you just absolutely bomb the whole concept of positional value on the board, and maybe overpaying for a pick or getting too little in return. I really think it's hard to get less than a C because there's just so much unknown with these picks. I gave the Rams less than a C.
I gave a few teams less than a C.
I gave the Cardinals less than a C. I thought that was the worst draft in the league.
Oh, no, there are worse ones than the Cardinals. There are worse ones than the Cardinals, in my opinion. Let's move on to the next.
But I'm 9 feet tall. My opinion is objectively bigger than yours. Okay. So with that being said, Cardinals had the worst draft, but I really like this. I like the fact that James Cook is going to give them a dynamic they just really haven't had, a true receiving weapon.
Exactly. I like that. And you know what? It's like you said, it's a solid draft. And this is a team where they didn't really have a lot of needs. Those guys aren't likely going to be playing all that often early. Other than like Kyer Elam and Cook, the rest of them are all going to just play little parts, which is fine. That's what you want from a contender. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins next. Dante might hate us if we grade him his favorite team less than a stellar grade, but we'll take a look at it. What did you like with Miami's draft?
I liked Eric Ezukanma.
I forgot they only had 4 picks. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, Ezukanma. Skylar Thompson. Look, I know Lance Zierlein liked him.
Emery
Carson
Hunt loved
Strong
him.
was available. Carson Strong.
QB2 Carson Strong was available in round 7, and you went with Skylar Thompson. The best part is seeing Miami fans on Twitter talk themselves into Skylar Thompson winning the starting job. That's been my favorite part of the last couple of days.
Yeah. I like the Chindall pick in a vacuum. I know Dante desperately wanted Leo Chenal, and I wonder if he would have been the pick, but he went at pick 100 to the Chiefs.
No, he was picked after. He was the next pick after Tyndall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Dante. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I like Tyndall. This is about where I thought he was going to go, but I also thought Leo Chenal was going to be gone by then. So I just thought that they would go with Chenal. Izukama, again, just like our guy Ian Cummings over at Pro Football Network, I also really liked Izukama. Cameron Good is just probably going to be a depth guy, special teamer, roster space. Skylar Thompson, practice roster? Like he's 24, 25 years old. I see no upside with him. I would have just taken Carson Strong. This is like a B-, C+.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'll be nice because I like the Izukama pick for the value. Channing Tindall went about where I thought. I'll go B-.
I put it at a C. There's just not a lot of players in this class.
Yeah, exactly. When you only have 4 picks and there's like 2 where you can kind of go, why? Even if they are 7th rounders. Also, not picking till 102 definitely didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
However, they got Tyreek Hill. So that balances out.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We're flying through this division. I think we're going to have a lot to say about this one, though. It's the New England Patriots. What did you think of their draft?
I think they're going to be moving to a zone scheme. That was my biggest takeaway. Look, the reason they drafted Cole Strange is his athletic profile comparison. Joe Tooney.
I get that, but
I get it too. Bill Belichick has always beat to his own drum. I think they could have gotten him in round 2 and still gotten him pretty securely and prioritized another position. Taekwon Thornton, I liked, and I thought he was a sleeper. Not at 51.
So I liked Cole Strange. I thought that picking him at 29 is putting far too much pressure on him because he's already going to have to be replacing one of the best guards in the league in Shaq Mason. You're taking a guy that is a 6-year college player at 29 and telling him that he has to fill in for Shaq Mason. That's a lot of pressure on a dude that, like, 2 months ago, no one had heard of him. Again, like you said, probably would have been there at their 2nd round pick without having to trade up. I know some people thought that he was going to go in like the top 40. I had him graded in the 3rd round, but I knew he wasn't going to go in the 3rd round because of the athleticism that he provides. Taekwon Thornton, I liked Taekwon Thornton, but he was also my 2nd to last 4th round grade. So trading up to 50 to get him ahead of guys like George Pickens and Sky Moore, especially when, you know, he's 6'3", he's 175 pounds, and he also can't really catch all that well. If that sounds like a faster, taller Nelson Aguilar to anyone else, I'd like to know, but that's the vibe I got. Our guy Connor Rogers basically just crapped all over this pick because Taekwon Thornton just doesn't have reliable hands. He doesn't. Marcus Jones is a fine pick in the 3rd round, but like, if that's probably one of their best picks. Jack Jones, I think, probably was a later round pick. Pierre Strong, I like, but this team is hoarding running backs, hoarding them.
They don't care about keeping Damian Harris, and they were vocal about it this weekend. Jack Jones is an interesting one. Got kicked out of USC, got a multiple game suspension that effectively ended his 2020 season with Arizona State. The ball skills are stupid. Mm-hmm. They're really good, but he's got off the field stuff. And my favorite pick of this draft, Bailey Zappi, who's going to supplant Mac Jones. Write it in ink. I don't want to hear about your negative quarterback talk, Mike, because this was a fair value for a good, solid backup quarterback, and he's better than Mac Jones.
He fits the system. I had a 5th on him. They got him with the 32nd pick in the 4th round. Fine. Whatever. I don't care. By the way, speaking of Mac Jones, why did you get a speed threat like Taekwon Thornton who can run like 2 routes downfield with a quarterback who can't consistently stretch the field? I don't know anything about Sam Roberts, Chasen Hines I didn't get to, and Andrew Stoiber is one of their best picks, and that's at 245. Devin and I on the Big Shots podcast gave this one a D+. I don't like this draft at all.
I'm thinking C-. There are still picks I like. I think Kevin Harris is an interesting sleeper.
I didn't like Kevin Harris.
Thor Nystrom, my boss at NBC Sports Edge, really likes Harris as a sleeper. And I understand where he's coming from. Really just overvalued. And then Quandre White really took over this year because Kevin Harris injured his shoulder in 2020 and then kind of came into 2021 with the injury. So I get it.
8 running backs on this roster now.
The best pick in this draft was Pierre Strong Jr.
Yeah.
I had a 3rd on him. I
love 4th, yeah.
Pierre Strong Jr. Oh, so you hate him. Congratulations.
Sure. Sure.
No, I don't agree with how they kind of approach the draft, but I'll tell you this. I'm going to give Bill Belichick the benefit of the doubt, even though he's had a lot of misses. I think we just like to nitpick the hell out of Bill Belichick because he's,
the GOAT.
Bill Belichick. This is the direction you want to go. We're also post Josh McDaniels. And I think this is a shift towards how they want to play offense.
My big takeaway from this is that I like the joke that our pal Trevor Sikkema used of this just shows that the Patriots had 20 players on their draft board, no matter what. Because you could have traded down at like every single pick here, especially the early ones, and still gotten these guys. Just manipulate the board a little bit better. Head coach Bill Belichick keeps general manager Bill Belichick employed.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're going to finish this one off with one of my favorite drafts. And I know I just kind of spoiled it. It's the New York Jets. What was your takeaway with them?
Loved the Jets pick. Loved the aggressiveness to go up and get falling players or to go up and get their guy when they knew he was about to be taken in Breece Hall. I also love the Jeremy Rucker pick. I think he fits into that offense like a glove. He's going to be a much better pass catcher in the pros than he was in college.
He's going to be focused more.
Yeah. Max Mitchell, I think, was a really nice pick in round 4.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Clemens was a good pick in round 4. This team just got so much better. They attacked positions of need. They got great value for those picks. It's hard not to love the Jets draft.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I loved this draft class. Sauce Gardner was my corner 1, getting him at 4. Loved it. You know what? This says to me that they really do think that Mekhi Becton can stay healthy, stay on the field, and be a long-term part of this team. And they also really like George Fant. Garrett Wilson, loved the fit at 10. I know they wanted Drake London. That's been reported a lot. But with him not being there, Garrett Wilson's a higher-ranked player on my board. Jermaine Johnson falling to 26, trading back up to get him. Loved that. Breece Hall, man, there are so many good comps with Breece Hall, and all of them are good. Deuce McAllister was one I heard. I had him comped to Joseph Adai. And then Jeremy Rucker, one of the best tight ends. I know our buddy Dante didn't really value him as highly, but I had him as like my tight end 4 or 5. I thought this would be about where he went, and he would be a bigger impact at the pro level than at college because he wasn't going to be the 7th passing option in that offense. Max Mitchell, I think he's a great developmental swing tackle to start. Maybe fill in if Becton goes down or Fant goes down. And then Clemens, again, solid rotational guy to add to that defense. I have 0 problems with this draft. I'll do it. I'll give him an A+. Screw it. You get 3 guys that I had in my top 12 in the first round. I kind of have to.
I'm giving it an A. It's not the best draft in this class, and I can't put it on the same level as the Philadelphia Eagles draft. This is objectively great, but it's it's not up to that echelon, so I'm giving it an A.
You know what? I think Jets fans should be very happy. Long gone are the days of the Idzik 12. Thank God we're past the Idzik 12.
Or the days of Freeman McNeil.
I don't even know who that is.
He was a first-round pick, fullback out of Texas A&M in the late 80s.
Of course you know that. Well, for Old Man Forno, I'm Mike Hrynyshyn. Come on back tomorrow. I believe, Forno, you're back with Devin Jackson to talk about the AFC North, if I remember correctly.
Oh, hell yeah.
AFC South. One of the two. This is Devin's decision. So for Forno, I'm Mike. We'll see you guys tomorrow.